Hi there, it's Suzanne. I wanted to talk, I'm going to have a little talk today briefly about what I'm calling the temporal nature of reality. And I don't always talk about things quite like this, but that's because I've been piecing together my own understanding and consciousness about it for a while.
Talk
And
today.
I, I am more and more clear about I think about where I'm headed and where we're headed as a collective in terms of how we're witnessing reality. And I think it's pretty important to pay attention to this right now because I think that things are changing so much. And well, at least my guides, Mary Magdalene, especially Mother Mary, Yeshua, the mothers, the Council of Mothers, the goddesses, and also the Arcturians, all of them. They're pretty emphatic right now about choosing how you are perceiving things. Now, they always have been emphatic about that, but for many years I was not able to be that emphatic, and I was emphatic from a much lower dimensionality when I was going through like this enormous job of clearing away childhood trauma or going through divorce or cancer treatment. I mean, there have been some big situations that posed incredible duality in my life that they made me choose, but often from a place of the lower dimensions. By those, I mean the planes where we're in fear, doubt, guilt, suspect, blah, 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 blah. And so as I've emerged through the portal of consciousness, through those experiences, and now I can look back and see, oh, those have been very, very purposeful and very, Spirit was very skilled at guiding me through them, and I chose them. And they're very consequential in terms of how now I understand what I don't want and what I do want. Now I'm starting to be shown what they're calling the temporal way to look at things, which is, like what actually is really reality. And is this place real? Is it a simulation? Is there a matrix? Is it multidimensional? Are there more than one worlds, stacked together? All those kinds of physics questions. And my answer to those as one who teaches Akashic records reading and experiencing the Akashic Records, my answer to all of those questions is yes. This is very much a choose your own adventure story. And um, lo and behold, I just wish that for 5 decades I'd really understood that. Though there were times when I was younger, I really did emphatically choose what I wanted and it worked out. And I would love to hear from you guys if that's the case, because it seems like so many of us when we're young, and I think this is by human design, we're empowered at certain points when we're younger. I was super empowered during high school because I got a big dose of spiritual healing and up-leveling, and I was super empowered in college and when I was in the Peace Corps. And then I started to plummet um, in my 30s, and that dark night of the soul is really how we're wired, I do believe, or how we have been, and perhaps that's something that we're going to be choosing that does not exist in the next version of the human genome. Yeah, I think it won't be. I don't think we don't want to keep learning like that, do we? We don't want to keep having to be dragged down like that, do we? I don't. And that's the kind of versioning of heaven on earth that I'm envisioning and creating. And so today, I just wanted to pop on here and talk about the choices we make because what I'm finding now that I have gotten my vibratory field very clear, and it's taken years and decades, um, I am seeing how it is so true that exactly what I choose shows up in mysterious ways. It's sometimes instantaneous, more and more, it's quicker than it was. Sometimes it takes a while, especially when other people are involved because everybody has free will. But today I was sitting on the phone in a very high vibration energy talking to a really beautiful friend of mine, and there was a hawk soaring in the Colorado sky, and it would go flat so that the sun would hit it, and it would look like it just disappeared into out of the simulation. And it did it so much and so often that I paid attention, and every time it would disappear, a bunch of others would appear, and then it would come back, and then it would be alone, and it would disappear, and others would appear. And I mean, to me, that is what I'm talking about. It's a version of what happens when we are in a high vibration and we're observing the world. Things look different. Things aren't as they used to seem, and magic happens, and this starts to become regular where things show up that in a new way that you just know that's how it's meant to be and always was. And so I just want to leave you with that sharing today, especially because I love Independence Day. I love the 4th of July. It's so fun. I loved raising my little kids and going to fun things. Now they're off doing their own thing, but so am I. And I love the whole notion of liberation and freedom. And I love that we can express that now in conjunction with the other things that are happening in the world that might have us believe there's not freedom, but by golly, no, there is. We're always free. We are always free, and we must remember that. We truly must remember that we're always free, or those shenanigans will overtake. And that's not going to happen on my watch if I can help it. It's not going to happen in my heaven on earth. That's for darn sure. So, um, I just like to tie in with that holiday notion of independence and liberation and freedom. mm, I don't say be careful, but be expressly thoughtful and mindful about how you choose to see things out in the world, and start to change and flip your lens a little bit and say, where once you might have judged something or thought one thing, maybe look that if it catches your eye, say, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I think that might be what the universe is trying to show me. There's something behind that I am supposed to look at, or there's something deeper here in that interaction I just witnessed. Things like that. I would love to hear comments because I just know that it's more fun living in this vibrational field, and so many of us have chosen that, and we've got to stick together, and we've got to stay aligned together. And that's why I go out live like this, because I want to find you guys, and I want you to find me, and I want to be in communion with people who are choosing to look at things um, the way they from a high heart perspective is what I would say, or diamond heart perspective. Any way you want to call it, the higher perspective, because there's always one. There's always a higher perspective, always, always, always. And just by the way, if you want some Independence Day inspiration and activities, I've got some fun things going on this weekend. So I'm going to put them in the comments. I've got a workshop where you'll get a massive clearing from Kali Ma on Sunday morning. And I'm going to have something special on Friday for those of you who are on my email list. So you just might want to pop on my email list or join my free Facebook group, which is called Priestess Collective. On Facebook, it's Priestess Collective 22. At any rate, thank you. I love y'all. And do please share comments because it just makes it all the more fun. And have a blessed